Hey everyone, welcome to the Soul Rehab Project. This is Sarah Saxby, and this is the podcast where we talk about lies. So the lies we tell ourselves just to get through the day, and the lies that we have been told. So we're exposing lies here, and we're getting ourselves to be more true, more honest, and determine all the places that we've been lying and pretending. Today, I want to talk about something pretty important because I think most people can relate to it. And it is, why do we need to escape our lives just to feel like ourselves? So why is it that we always need to go somewhere else to breathe or to actually feel good? It's never the lives we live every single day. It never is. We have something hardwired in our heads that says we have to go somewhere else. It has to be the weekend or a vacation or a beach or a lake. Then we can live. When every single day, all day long, is an opportunity to live. But we distract ourselves, we go numb the whole time until we escape to start living, right? Just to feel like ourselves, we need to get out of our everyday lives. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see how messed up that is? Because that really means that there's only a few hours a week that we actually feel like ourselves, as opposed to all the other opportunities we have. So we're going to talk about the ways that we do that and how we're fooled by that, and hopefully how we can get ourselves out of that. It's not an overnight thing. Slow and steady, we're going to figure this out. Okay. The thing is, when we escape, so when we go somewhere else for those few hours or the weekend or the trip, we don't have to pretend while we're there. When we're living our everyday lives, we're pretending. So the ways that we're constantly pretending, and if you have heard any of my other podcasts, you should know what I'm about to say. But we pretend, the biggest one is in our relationships, right? So we're with someone that maybe the relationship is completely dead. You're literally just used to that person every day. You're not going to break up the family. You're like, this is just what I signed up for. No, there's nothing there. The relationship is nothing, but I'm used to this person. We're just going to go through. We're just going to make it through. Or maybe the relationship is abusive. Maybe not physically, but emotionally. You're not allowed to live the life you want to because that person will have an absolute meltdown. So you just limit yourself, called coercive control. Maybe you can't stand the person, can't stand their face. It's just a functioning unit. So the bills are paid and you put up with that person on a vacation. I don't know. Or maybe you truly do want a relationship, but you're telling yourself, nah, I'm good. I don't want it. But in your heart, you really would want it. I don't know. You're pretending when it comes to a relationship, right? We pretend in our jobs. So this is a place 40, 50, 60 hours a week that we literally punch a clock, go in. Maybe you can't stand what you do. Maybe the whole place is toxic. Maybe the majority of your coworkers are. Maybe your management is a bunch of fucking idiots. They're a joke. But you go in like a robot. 50 hours a week. You are a robot. You punch in and you become someone else just to get through it. And then 5, 6 o'clock rolls around and you're like, okay, I go scrolling on my phone, right? Or wait to turn on Netflix. Maybe another way we pretend is our Facebook life, our Instagram life, right? Can't wait till I get an opportunity to post myself or someone else. You're celebrating someone else, but it's all like 12 pictures of you because you're pretending. You're pretending. Underneath, you're in pain. Obvious. So I was thinking about this because we say that maybe you love the mountains, maybe you love the beach, the water, the lake. Okay, there's certain things that people are drawn to, the trees, whatever. People say, well, that's my therapy. Okay, well, let's talk about that because it's not the magic. I have my notes down here. That's why I keep looking down, but it's not the magic of these places. Although for me, I love the lake. I love water. I love trees. I love hiking in mountains. And truly, when you're in these places and you're grounded and you're around nature and flowers and birds and all that stuff, it is amazing. It's amazing. But when you're in these places, so when you're on vacation or when Friday comes or whatever, you don't have to pretend, so you can relax because you're taking the mask off. You wear the mask all week long, but then when you go to the beach, we'll use the beach as an example, when you go there, you don't have to pretend as much. I'm not saying that you don't pretend while you're there, it's just less. So it feels like less pressure, right? When you take the mask off, you're like, whew, I can rest for a little bit. But what happens when you go back home and you have to go to work and you have to be with your partner that you don't like? You're pretending again. It's literally the definition of insanity because we think that the next trip or the next weekend or the next Facebook post might just change something. And it never does. We have coping mechanisms, right? So we go on our vacation and we come back, but we're like, well, I always have next Friday, right? I always have 5:00 when I punch out from work, or I have another trip planned in 2 months. I get to have a glass of wine tonight. During my lunch, I'm going to scroll on my phone or wait for an opportunity to post myself on Facebook. So is it really therapy to be able to escape to your lake, to the beach, to the mountains? Is it therapy? Or is it just a temporary place where you don't have to pretend? Because this is good. So when you're at the lake or when you're at the beach or when you're in the mountains, are you able to sit in your truth? Or are you hoping that the beach does the work for you, that it does the work you've been avoiding? Because if those places are truly therapy, then they'll do the work for you. But you always have to snap back into your pretending. You snap back into your script all the time. So it's just temporary. So to say that those things are therapy, that's a trick bag. Because are they restorative? Are they healing? Absolutely. But it's not those places aren't doing the work for you. It's still in there. The fact that you're lying, the fact that you're not in love with your husband, the fact that you hate your job. I'm sorry, the beach isn't going to fix that for you. You still have to face it. And then people that want to move to these places, that's great. If you want to move to a beach or to the mountains, to paradise, but the location, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let me put a pin in that. So if your life is a constant source of chronic anxiety, sadness, pressure, and numbness, and you need to leave, to escape, to get away from that, there's something wrong. And the location isn't the problem. You see what I'm saying? The location isn't the problem. It's not the source of your anxiety, of your pressure, of your sadness, of your numbness. It's not the location. And here's the thing. I was in a very abusive relationship. So, yes, my location was part of the problem. If I did not remove myself from that environment, that would be a big problem. But it was only half of the problem because, yes, I moved myself out of it. But if I didn't address why I got into that situation, why I let someone do that, why I stayed so long, then I am just going to go right back into that same environment. I'm going to land in the same location because I didn't deal with what got me there in the first place. So if you are in your home and you're sad and you have chronic anxiety and pressure, and you're like, well, I'm going to go to the beach, I'm going to move to the beach. You're just going to build that prison on the beach. You understand that, right? It's not the location. If you are in an abusive situation, part of it's the location. The other part is what got you into that prison, into that abusive situation. There's something that's causing the pain, and that pain is going to be inside of you regardless of what your outside looks like. The outside isn't the solution. Then you'll say, well, you know what? I'd rather have anxiety on the beach than I would in town. Okay, that's fine. I'm not saying don't go and move to a beautiful location. I'm just saying don't expect it to fix you. It's just a temporary release of pressure. And we're stuck in these constant pressurized anxiety type situations because for three reasons I wrote down. One is that is social conditioning. Okay. Because we were handed a script when we were born and we were told by our parents or by our religion or by our culture that these are the things that you do in your life. This is how it shakes out. This is what you do. And when you do it, you will be happy. And you do those things just like a good person. You do all of those things. You get the dog, you get married, you have kids, you buy a house. Why am I not happy? Because that wasn't your script. It belonged to someone else. It belongs to very few people. But you didn't even know to ask yourself, well, what do I really want these things? We stay trapped because of emotional safety. We don't want to confront people. We don't want to lose people. We don't want someone to think that we're not nice, right? We just want to cruise. Don't lose. We want to keep the same people around, whatever. And then it's some old programming. So we keep ourselves small. We want to make sure that we're not too loud. We don't want to rock the boat. So I'm going to stay in the situation I'm in. I'm going to look forward to Friday. I'm going to look forward to getting off of work. I'm going to look forward to the vacation. And here we are, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years of doing the same thing. And then our biggest plan is maybe I'll just move to the islands. Sadness is going to follow you if you are not addressing the sadness. If you are not addressing where you're lying to yourself. Where are you lying? I want to end with 3 questions that hopefully will help you guys get moving on the lying part. Because unfortunately, you guys, the world isn't like it used to be. And I've said this before, but there are a lot of things that have been happening. There have been a lot of sort of, what do I want to say, like the veils. If you imagine an onion, like the layers are just being peeled off and we're able to see more. More truth is being revealed. And we're scrambling to try to find more ways to feel better rather than turning it inside and looking at all the places where we are lying, whether it's in our relationships, at our job, maybe it's our whole identity. Maybe you never wanted to wear the clothes that you wear, but it's more acceptable. Maybe you want purple hair, but you're like, I couldn't do that. Yeah. Might be a silly example, but that's what I'm talking about. If that's what you always wanted, who are you not doing that for? So here are 3 questions I want to leave you guys with. And the first one is, why do I need to escape to feel relief? Why do I need to escape to feel it? Why do I not feel it where I currently live? Why do I not feel peace or completeness or wholeness or fulfillment during the day, 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Tuesday? Why not? Why not? The second question is, what parts of my life feel like performance? Where do I feel like I'm performing? When you wake up in the morning, and we've been sold a fucking bill of goods. Don't even get me started about having to go to work and when we need to eat and all this shit. We've been lied to so bad. And we're working just to keep people way higher up on the food chain than us. And we're supporting them by working our asses off all day and staying blind and going on one vacation. That's a whole nother story. But when you wake up in the morning, where are you pretending? Where are you doing something that isn't aligned with what you truly want? What are you saying? Are you saying things that don't feel aligned? Think about that. Really wake up in the morning and go, what doesn't feel, don't get it confused with what feels robotic. That's what you need to be aware of. Where am I just being a robot? Where am I just doing? Where am I pretending? Where am I wearing a mask? And the last question is, if peace comes when I'm away, what am I avoiding facing? If peace only comes when I'm away, then what am I not dealing with right now? What am I not dealing with all week long that I have to go somewhere else to find peace? That I have to post on Facebook to find some peace? That I have to watch a Netflix series just to find peace? That I have to wait to go home from work? I have to wait till I pour my glass of wine to find peace? What are you not dealing with during all those other times? Those are the questions we need to start asking ourselves. Because really, there is no other way. There's not going to be any other way. You can keep pushing in the direction of your escape. You can't. But I assure you, it's going to get harder. And that escape is not going to work. If you're going somewhere and it aligns, it's not an escape, then go. And of course, I'm not saying don't go to these places. Just recognize why you're doing it, why you need to escape. So the link is in my bio to schedule me for a speaking engagement, to schedule a 90-minute one-on-one with me. Send me an email, sarah@strategiesforhappiness.com. And by all means, share the video, like my YouTube page, find me on TikTok, Sarah Saxby, and let me know what you guys think, what you want to talk about. And I look forward to working with you all and seeing you all again.